It's October 23rd, 2018. It's Tuesday. It's Harp Tuesday! And delighted to have you with me here tonight. It's been a while. I've been on tour for almost 4 weeks, I guess. Just home again. Managed to pre-record that one episode, but other than that, been a bit scarce in terms of Harp Tuesday episodes, so delighted to have you here with me this evening as I record this episode. And today, what I thought I would do is I would talk about just one small section in Debussy's first Arabesque. Of course, I did that episode talking about the rhythm from earlier on in the piece, and at some point I would like to do kind of an in-depth look at the whole piece. But for today, what I'm going to talk about is this little bit here. So in the Layne edition, it's bottom printed. It's the bottom of printed page 4. It's the third actual page of music. Right, it's this beautiful run up in the tempo rubato section. And it has two distinct types of dangerous spots in terms of buzzing. So I thought I'd talk about them both. For me, the one that always bothers me the most is trying to sneak that fourth finger in without buzzing on the string beneath. So that first one, of course, is the biggest string, though it's also the softest note, right? We're gradually getting louder, so the strings are vibrating more because of that. Trying to get that fourth finger on there without the back of it touching that previous string. So here again, trying to get it onto the C without buzzing on the B. And I would find it much easier if I'd come off and then was placing. But for whatever reason, trying to do it with a thumb anchored always feels a little bit risky to me. So what I think of is kind of straightening my fingers. Instead of a normal position like this, I'll straighten the fingers and really feel, kind of hold them together as a unit. And really feel kind of pointed and precise. In terms of avoiding that F. And maybe it's not as bad as I think. Maybe I have more wiggle room than I think, but that's what I'm thinking about when I do that. And then the other spot, and this has bothered a number of students that I've worked with more, is avoiding, so we play, for example, this A in the first little bit, and then we have to place these three. And so, again, if this A were ringing and we were trying to place a root position B chord, not a problem, right? We should be able to do that. But with a fourth finger anchored, it becomes rather challenging not to buzz. And so for me, at least, I don't try to avoid it. I actually try to muffle it. I think I talked about that in a recent maybe slow motion Monday video. But I will use the back of the finger to muffle it. Maybe I'll do that. I'll show you some slow motion footage of that. And of course, if we're playing kind of at the same time as we muffle, that masks a lot of the surface noise that we're going to get from that muffle, right? We're going to get some sound of that string being stopped. So what I do, right, is use the back of the finger, not the fingernail, of course, roughly around the knuckle, I think. Be interesting for me to watch this slow motion footage and see what exactly. but to touch that, and at the same time, I'm placing. So the finger's a little bent, this last joint's a little bent, and then it tends to straighten out a little bit as I go to play. And it lets me, instead trying to avoid it feeling like a two-step thing, muffle, place, it's just muffling on the way to placing, so I don't feel like I'm taking up a bunch of extra time. And my fingers actually do that automatically. I don't actually have to think about that. Somehow, over the years, I've trained them that they're kind of intelligent. They know that this is a risky spot if you try to avoid it. So I'll just stop that string. An excellent tool, I think, to have in your toolbox. And again, you can just practice. Place 2 notes with 3 and 4. Play with 3rd finger, and then try to move it up to the next string and muffle that lower string as you place. Anyway, fun little thing to play around with. So hope you enjoyed that. Look for some footage from my tour coming up soon, and in the meantime, I will see you with another Harp Tuesday in 2 weeks' time. Cheers.